Notice though, we got 3 of the 4 Dallas teams represented in our gear today.
Do we? Oh my gosh.
We got the Ranger. I got this.
Rangers.
I didn't shower this morning, so the hair is
same.
just beautiful. Like, I need a hat. I need a hat for sure.
I'm representing, little Texas.
Still world champs. I was talking to Casey. I was like, man, it's not going to happen. But I was like, man, we have a chance to go like 4 for 4 because the Cowboys were good. The Rangers were good. I knew the Stars and Mavs were going to be good. Then the Cowboys choked it. The Rangers won it. I was like, man, we still might go for 2. And the Stars lost and the Mavs lost in the finals. I was like, man, it is so hard to win a championship. Like,
not easy. I mean,
no.
They're just going to win whenever again. Hopefully,
we'll see. We'll see. We all have strong opinions on the Cowboys ownership and management structure and how it perhaps does not lead them to a good culture, which leads them to a championship. But what we are trying to do is we are trying to win championships in fantasy football. Intro right there. Yeah. But what we're going to talk about, we mentioned yesterday, was value-based drafting. And the draft, like, you can't win your league on the draft, but you could definitely lose it if you reach too high, or you also might get unlucky. Guys get injured all the time. So what we mean by value-based drafting is we're still assuming PPR league, 10-person league, and we're trying to build a roster that gets you like 120 points per game.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea. And so they have all these rankings all over the place. Like, we've done ESPN rankings is kind of what we're using as our basis. And, what do they mean? Because like quarterbacks score more points than most other positions. Why don't I just draft a quarterback first? And it's the value. It's all about value when your draft picks. So, back in the olden days, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, you used to draft running back first round, running back second round, and then you fill the rest of your roster out. Now it's like kind of all over the place. So in the top 10, you see 5 running backs, 5 receivers. In the top 20, you have 12 wide receivers, and then it starts to get the other positions. Yeah, it's hard, like, because you see all these points, but basically, like, there's a reason the top 3 positions are in ESPN. The top 3 listed are all running backs: Breece Hall, CMC, and Bijan, because to get a 20 point per game running back is rare. It's amazing. Or a 300, I guess I should say 300 point per season running back. So last season, one guy had over 300 points and only 2 guys averaged over 20 for a running back. Compare that to wide receivers where you had 5 guys averaging 20 and 4 guys over 300 points. So you can see just based on that, like, okay, 1 guy versus 4, that means if you can get a 300 point running back, it's more valuable.
Yeah.
So that's why their rankings are what they are. Now, with quarterback, you actually have a pretty clear-cut number 1 in Josh Allen. He's the number 1 best quarterback.
Mr. Josh Allen.
Yeah. And like, they don't have a running back that runs the ball in the end zone. It's him. I'll hand the ball to, what's his face? He was on my team last year until I traded him. Oh,
he's
gosh.
so good. We forget his name,
I know he fell to me in the draft last year. I was like, I'll
look him up.
I'll take him. Yeah.
It's a Bills running back.
I'm going to be so annoyed when I hear his name.
James Cook.
James Cook. Oh my gosh. Because I was hoping to get both Cooks so I could say 2 cooks in the kitchen, something like that. But
yes, names are, they're important too.
That's actually more important than winning a championship, is having a good team name. But, but I digressed. But with, so going back to quarterbacks, like, Josh Allen is the guy. But then from there, it's like, man, there's like 8 other guys that are pretty good, So I did a quick, this is going to be math. So sorry for everyone out there who didn't want math. But basically, standard deviation from the mean of top 10 quarterbacks, Josh Allen, 2.1 standard deviations. No one else is 1. Basically meaning he is the guy. He is the number 1, and then ranks 2 through 10. Like, it's a little different, but it's not huge. So, because he's like 5 points per game better than the 10th ranked guy, as number 2 quarterback was I think like 1, 2, 3 points per game better. So big difference there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you something real quick, Sal. I'm going to ask you which one of these 3 teams do you like best? So let me show you. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
All right. So we have team 1. It's got Josh Allen as our quarterback, Ken Walker and James Conner as our 2 running backs, Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison as our wide receivers, tight end Mark Andrews, and flex Amari Cooper. Pretty good team.
Yeah.
Team 2, Joe Burrow as our quarterback. Running backs are Aaron Jones and Jonathan Taylor. Wide receivers are Brandon Ayuk, Puka Nacua. Flex Marvin Harrison and Dalton Kincaid is our tight end. And then team 3 is Kyler Murray as our quarterback. Derrick Henry, Ramondre Stevenson are our running backs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans are wide receivers. Evan Ingram is our tight end, and our flex is Brandon Ayuk. So, first off, what do you think of these teams? And then let's kind of go through them and how would you rank them?
I mean, I think they're pretty good teams. I see some stars. I see a lot of, Amon St. Brown, a lot of points coming there. I feel like each team has one player that would give you a good amount of points. But if I'm hearing correctly, you want a quarterback that runs, right? A quarterback that will run will give you points. So that you have Josh Allen, who does run, but his running backs, they'll give you an average of 10 points, maybe 7 points each. On a good day, they'll give you a little bit more than that. And you have Joe Burrow, who doesn't run at all. He's just a thrower. But you have Jonathan Taylor, who will give you a good amount of running back points as well. So I don't know. I feel like I would say the Josh Allen would be my number 1 team. Actually, I take it back. I would say Joe Burrow is my number 1 team. Josh Allen number 2, and Kyler Murray's team number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Yeah, the running backs on team number 2 I like a little better, even though Taylor I like better than those 2. The combo of Henry and Stevenson, though, I might like better than the combo of Taylor and Jones. It's kind of a push. Wide receivers, I like St. Brown the best of this group.
He was your player last year. So.
He's my guy. Mike Evans versus Harrison versus Nacua. That could go anyway. Nacua is probably better there. Ayuk as the flex is probably the best one here. So I personally like team 3 the best, partially because I'm biased towards St. Brown. But the point of this is, team 1, you're taking Josh Allen in the 2nd round because that's where he's going to go. So they're like, oh, he's listed in, because there's a reality to it. He's listed as number 1 quarterback and number 29 overall on ESPN. So a late 3rd rounder. It's like, no. If you want Josh Allen, you're taking him 15th or 14th. You're taking him in the earlier mid 2nd round. That's the way it goes. Now, if you want to wait and be like, Joe Burrow, you're getting him in the 5th round. And so that's where you can build that team. That's where you can build that team and get like a Jonathan Taylor in the 1st round and a Puka Nacua in the 2nd round and a Brandon Ayuk in the 3rd round and a Marvin Harrison in the 4th round and then Burrow. Or if you want to wait even further, Kyler Murray is listed at, where was he listed at? Because there's like he's listed at quarterback 10, number 79 overall. So I think I put him in the 7th round. So basically you get St. Brown, and then you get Henry, and then you get Evans, and then you get Ayuk, then you get Ingram, then you get Stevenson, and then you get Murray, and you get your quarterback last. And you can really build a strong team that way. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. Each one of these teams has strengths and some weaknesses, but I like waiting on the quarterback. That's my general lesson. You can't always do it because, realistically, like what's going to happen in your draft, you're going to be chilling. Then you're going to take a player and you got to figure out what's your line of demarcation. Like who's the guy that you like, I need to get. For me, it's Kyler Murray. He's quarterback 10. If I get Kyler Murray, I'm fine. After him, I'm like, So he's my line of demarcation. So then what happens is, you're drafting And if it's a snake draft, a lot of times there's a big gap in between your picks, 10, 15 picks.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Josh Allen's gone already. Jalen Hurts is gone. So let's say there's 2 quarterbacks gone. Then you're just chilling. You make your pick. And then all of a sudden, boom, quarterback 3, Pat Mahomes goes.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, there goes Lamar Jackson. You're like, okay. And then all of a sudden, people start running on quarterbacks. Stroud goes, Burrow goes, Richardson goes. And you're like, now it's my turn. And, 6 quarterbacks have been taken. And I'm like, man, if I got Dak, I got Love, and I got Murray, if I don't get my guy now, maybe I'm not going to get him. So that's how these quarterback things might change based on a quarterback run.
Right.
Typically, for me, unless it's like, I like this guy at this spot, I generally wait on the quarterbacks. Last year, I was earlier than normal. I think I took Lamar Jackson in the 4th round.
Yeah,
and that's pretty early for me. I had him at.
And I think we gave you some black for that because we were like, "Whoa, you're taking a quarterback this early?"
Yeah, it's generally against my strategy, but I was like, I like him here. And they had a new offense that it worked. Like I won the whole thing, but it was definitely inconsistent as they were trying to get ready for the season, their first season of their offense. But yeah, overall, I like waiting on quarterbacks because of the value you can get. And then we break them down. People like to break them down into tiers. Like Josh Allen is tier 1. He is the guy. Tier 2 is like Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts is like going to be a 2nd or 3rd rounder. He's listed 30th overall, QB2. That's kind of like, I like the offense. That's just a little rich for me in building a team because you got to build a whole team. Lamar, Mahomes, 3rd, 4th round. I like Lamar there. That's fine. Mahomes, I don't like. But then, man, the tier 3 guys, the 5th and 6th rounders, that's Burrow, Stroud, Richardson, Prescott, targeting those guys. And then the kind of like the tier 4 guys in the 7th and 8th round, Love, Murray, and Purdy. Man, those are guys I'm trying to target, like those quarterbacks 6 through 10. That's the guys I'm looking at because I think I can get, because I don't think I'm going to get Josh Allen. So therefore, I'm like, what's the value here, difference between these tier 2 guys and 3 and 4? And I don't see it as that big of a gap.
Right. And I mean, I feel like it also depends on when are you picking. But our league tends to have runs, right? When somebody picks a quarterback, then we all start picking a quarterback. So we panic. We're like, oh, they took this, Josh Allen's taken, then Lamar Jackson is taken. All right, well, I got to pick up my guy. So I agree with what you're saying. And I've learned that actually from you, from where like, okay, don't panic. Wait on the quarterback because, you can get a good quarterback down in the 7th and 8th round. And that's what I've been trying to do. It hasn't gotten me in trouble before. I think so, but not as much. But I think it's a good risk to take.
Yeah. You can always, because the one thing I noticed last year, more than anything before, who were the guys who were great last year? Obviously, Josh Allen was great. Lamar did great last year, but look else who else did great. Dak, undrafted in our league. Jordan Love, undrafted in our league. CJ Stroud, undrafted in our league. Brock Purdy, Kirk Cousins, both undrafted in our league. So there was 5 guys right there who were legitimate starters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 guys, legitimate starters who went undrafted. So even if you just like your quarterback got hurt week 1 or Anthony Richardson was your quarterback and you're like, man, this guy's great, but he keeps getting hurt. You can still pick up Dak. That's the guy, I think the guy who had Dak, he had Richardson and kept getting hurt, picked up Dak. And he rolled just fine. Yeah, no problem. So waiting on quarterback, that's what I like to do. I like to kind of fill my roster out, at least get my running backs and receivers filled in first.
Right.
Maybe tight end. But once again, like you said, depends a little bit on the league if they're making a run at quarterback or not.
Right.
Yeah. How you feeling after yesterday, after week 1? Feeling more confident?
Yeah, feeling more confident. I'm learning. I'm studying a lot, so I'm learning a lot, which is good. So yeah, I feel great.